What is SAGA? SAGA stands for Sustainable and Adaptable Governance and Action. The four pillars of SAGA are sustainable innovation, sustainable profitability, sustainable governance, and perhaps the most important pillar in the context of this film, sustainable society. Each of these pillars refers to a process that requires optimization and refinement to better the processes of an industry and its sustainability. Such optimization is attained by years and years of practice and are present to some extent in developed economies. But today, we are here to talk about how these apply to the developing world. Local economies that utilize these four pillars in their workings can emerge victorious even in scenarios that are against them and constrain their future. An example of such an economy is much closer to us than we think. Let's take a look at Dharavi. Famous for being the world's largest slum, Dharavi houses an approximate 13% of Mumbai's workforce, a sizable portion, and has managed to create a somewhat self-sustaining ecosystem, all the way from labor to manufacturing, despite their limited area. Employment is created for thousands of Mumbaikars thanks to this ecosystem that continues to persist and moves forward, despite hardships that would even make larger organizations crumble.
Development, which would help them focus on other regions and not just be dependent on farming. That is our core thing. Apart from that, we also do a lot of healthcare, education, and water initiatives, and that includes working in areas like Dharavi. We have also done some other projects for schools in other places in Bombay, which are not in like to say in prime locality or posh locality, a kind of locality which needs economic help from our society. So those are the other focus areas. To be candid, there are references because now this organization has been established since 2017. So a lot of times we get requests or we get references asking that there is a certain area in which we help. If you could provide help, we would appreciate. So one of such was in Dharavi, where a women's group from Dharavi got in touch with us about reusable sanitary pads, which is again basically it reduces inflow of plastic, and those women do not really have access to such type of sanitary pads, no sanitary pads actually if you ask. So after they got in touch, we researched about it, and so the one of the projects that we implemented in Dharavi was to circulate reusable sanitary pads. So these pads, women can use them, clean them like you normally clean clothes, and this can be used for over a period of 1 year. So we implemented that last year, and this year again now we have got requests, so we'll again be doing it sometime soon. So that was one of the projects that we have implemented. The other project, of course, was in COVID. We had distributed ration kits, around 5,000 ration kits we had distributed. Then we want to start an initiative which is again for women. It is a UNICEF initiative called Girls Gaining Ground. Basically, we teach them again skill development to increase their workability as an employability. Those basic skills would be taught to them. That is a project we are trying to start off the ground in Dharavi. Another project being there is this oldest school, the first school actually in the Dharavi area, Ganesh Vidya Mandir. So there we have implemented solar energy, basically to reduce their costs of running, which will help them take more students, and their entire running cost would be cut down. So these are the main projects we have done, and one more is we have been developing better washroom facilities for female constables in some of the police stations. Our main motive is basically it's not just about Dharavi, but wherever there are economically weaker sections of the society, there is some gap between what can be done for them through community and what is actually done by the community. So we try to fill that gap as much as possible. The main focus area for our NGO is tribal areas of Maharashtra. Definitely providing them with means where they can improve their living situation. Whether it is, we see there's a lot of focus on academic education in our society, but our NGO also has done this in a couple of other places, and we sooner or later will do a skill development workshop in Dharavi as well. We believe that academic education is not the only education that can be provided. Rather, for certain sections of the society, if you can teach them like the need of the hour, like you train them how to use a certain software or develop softwares or something that would help them gain employability better, even like better, we actually teach even in the skill development workshops, we even teach something basic as plumbing and stuff, basically to focus their attention on getting them better employment, not just academic education. We have a limited exposure because we have practically worked with these women organizations, and when we go also, we have coordinated only with these women organizations on the ground level. We would say one thing, that we are definitely impressed by the way they are a close knit society. So in terms of how so this reusable pads, this was done through another NGO, but the focus was the reusable pads are also created by a weaker section of women, some of whom are actually from Dharavi. So it is like a whole process. We help them create it, we help them distribute it, and we help them use it to increase their hygiene. So they all come together. They are most of those people want to do something in life, but they don't have the means. That is what we figured from whatever little interaction we have had. But as I would say that we have only coordinated with other organizations already working over there. If we have not actually been the one who is doing it at the ground level.
Dharavi's small-scale industries focus on leather, pottery, textile, recycling, and more. These industries are often run by families. We also have the informal sector in Dharavi, from which 70% of businesses and workshops function without formal registration. This is one of the most crucial parts of Dharavi's landscape and is home to many community-based organizations that play a vital role in providing essential services like healthcare, education, and social support. These organizations often work closely with communities to address their needs. This settlement is known for its skilled artisans, a niche in the region, who provide a wide range of products and work in workshops to employ traditional methods of craftsmanship despite a lack of advanced machinery. Waste management is a large part of Dharavi, with a massive thriving ecosystem of recycling materials like paper, plastic, and metal to be sorted and resold. In fact, 60% of Mumbai's plastic waste is processed here. The recycling process is as follows. First, plastic, paper, metal, glass, and other recyclable materials are collected from across the city. These materials often arrive here through a network of waste pickers. From here, the informal recycling sector creates plastic for modeling and reshaping. The 15,000 dedicated workshops separate, sort, and process these materials to be reused. Skilled workers accomplish the manual and labor-heavy task by using rudimentary tools and equipment. After this, the materials are further processed, with plastics being shredded or melted and papers being pulped. Metals are often sorted and cleaned to be prepared for reuse and resale. Some materials transform into new products, like plastic being molded into new shapes and forms to be resold. These materials are transformed into products that are sold to manufacturers or wholesalers for local or even national distribution. These goods find their way back into recycling processes in Dharavi itself or other parts of the country and contribute to this circle of recycling and reusing materials.
My name is Samya Korde. I am political science graduate and now I am an LLB student. So growing up as a student in Mumbai's college and spending my childhood in slum of Dharavi, or I had friends living in Dharavi who used to live in slums, so I was familiar with the issues they face. Um, as I was working as an activist, as a student activist in my college, during COVID period, my interest in this sector, social sector, grew because I got to see the problems people faced in dense areas, in slums like Dharavi. And we had this foundation which was founded by my father, Advocate Rajendra Korde. So we started working from that foundation, providing sanitizers to the people, to the public toilets. At that time it was very difficult for the people to get food also, because their source of earning was completely stopped. So we did collaborations with few foundations, different NGOs, to provide them with dry grocery kits. And as the lockdown and the cases started decreasing, we all knew that education started online. So we did one project, School on Tab, for the children of Dharavi. And I started like that, and now after 2 years of this experience, I am coming to know more problems about people living over there. There are day-to-day life problems of infrastructure, and as well as livelihood problems. There is poverty also, but there is more question about how to empower people over there. So yes, rethinking about the things we can do for them, and I am like that, working through the foundation, trying to understand issues and trying to deliver more to the people over there. Growing up as a student, I was observing things, and I always had that urge to do something. I started working in a student organization. I'm still part of one political party, working from that also in Dharavi, and that was the main thing which inspired me to understand the need of the people by going onto the ground, being with them, and understanding the needs, and then trying to find out the solution. So the slum of Dharavi is woven with different kind of fabrics, very colorful. People live over there because we call it mini India. Dharavi is mainly formed with migrants from different parts of the country. We have people from North India, we have people from South India, and original people, Maharashtrians and Kois, also live over there. So there is complete amalgamation of culture and tradition over there. People celebrate all these festivals coming together. Even minorities and people from different castes and religions live over there together. So major festivals from different religions people celebrate over there. You must have heard about the biggest Pongal celebration in Dharavi. So on 90 feet road, as people from Tamil Nadu, they have this community and they come on that large road, and they celebrate Pongal in such way. During months of Ramjan, Muslim people have common dawats for their community. All people participate over there, and that's why different social groups over there also are very diverse. They are very open to all, and that's why culture is very diversified. Dharavi's famous fact is that many laborers live over there, and people when they came in Dharavi, their first generations were involved in labor work only and small scale businesses, and now Dharavi in Mumbai is a hub of microfinance businesses and small scale industries. Two things that is only in Dharavi is that Kumharwada, which is only located in Dharavi. There is one community from Gujarat, Wagri community, which completely live on this business. Now their second and third generation is doing this business, making pots, and they're potters basically. And leather tanning and business of leather, this is also done in Dharavi. So employment opportunities were created by people for themselves in such way. Now the picture is more like their new generations are getting educated, and many children and many youth are getting educated in colleges, they are getting graduates, and now they are moving into different set of employment. So as an organization, we have not entered into that sector yet for the employment. We are working on education of school going children, and mainly with the women of Dharavi, starting with the SSGs for women, and for school children we do small grant programs for the children who cannot afford full school fees. We go and do surveys, and we try to provide them with small scholarships. Okay, so you must have heard about recently about redevelopment project of Dharavi. So when this question of redeveloping particular slum comes on the table, as you mentioned earlier about sustainable development, so here that word completely should be applied, because Dharavi is largely spreaded slum on huge acres of land, and people don't have particular set of employment. They are not uh, engaged into corporate style of working. They have a different kind of their autonomous setup, like they are having hotels in front of their house and they are living backwards. They are vendors. So that's how it should be surveyed, and that's how it should be done. When this development is not about converting horizontal structures into one vertical structure. The development should be sustainable. People over there are living, they have particular set of employment, and that's why it should be provided like that. So that's why when we talk about development, Dharavi now is going through this phase that it needs to get redeveloped. People over there want development, and development means it should be all inclusive and it should be sustainable. So it should be catered by this way. And yes, because Dharavi has this huge manpower, they are providing labor to the complete city. The Mumbai also has its eyes on the redevelopment of Dharavi, and in upcoming years we would like to see, like, people like me, from my father's days, when my father was younger, since their days, they are just thinking about how this structure will be transformed, but yet it has not been done. So it is the main question about that land and about people over there. So in upcoming days, it is the biggest question, and it should be that need should get met.
Dharavi is inspiring in showing how, through entrepreneurship and resilience, combined with implementing the 4 pillars of Saga, a small community can be put on the map. The region is known for its strong entrepreneurial spirit, with many successful businesses. Despite its challenges, the community displays a unique strength, solidarity, and even a very strong sense of identity as an industry that contributes significantly to Mumbai's economy and continues to inspire people like us around the world.